Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tara with Mayhem Crafty Cards, and I'm going to do a process video for the card that I just posted on Facebook and Instagram, and it is the Heard You Had a Bug. So with this one, what I did, and I'm going to go through this whole process, but I'm going to do real time and then I'm going to switch over to a voiceover. But I did want to do the real time so you guys could see how to put this together. It's really easy once you kind of get into the flow of it. Sometimes you can get a little frustrated. And like with this card, I ended up putting foam squares behind the Magic Iris because it was sticking. It was catching on my frog. And I was getting super frustrated. And I don't know how many times I threw this away and started all over. So what you're going to need to start off with. So you get, let me get these in order here. So these are the pieces that come in the Magic Iris set. I'm gonna scoot these up here. So you get this big circle, okay? And you're gonna wanna cut this out 3 times. Now I cut it out 4 times because I needed the circle from this, the Brutus Monroe paper, the mermaid skin, to do as my background. So, I mean, you can, don't throw this away, like, keep this. I keep all my little circles as well, because you never know when you can use them on a card. So you want to cut that out 3 times from the circle, the stitched circle. And then you also want to cut out 3 of these little sausages. That's the best way I can think to describe them. So the nice thing is they put this little X. Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, here it is on the die. So you know where to put your glue dot. Now you have to use glue dots. I have tried every which way I can think of, and if you do not use a glue dot on here, and you want to use the smallest ones you can find to put on these X's, because if not, it's not going to move and you're going to get super frustrated. So the next piece, I think of this as like the little tongue piece, but you only cut out one of these. And the reason why I did these all in white is because I'm going to ink blend them. I'm going to use some stencils, and I'm sorry if you guys can hear the jingling in the back. Our little kittens, my daughter found them little bow ties with, oh, well, hello. Little bow ties with bells on them, so they jingle all around the house. So yes, you want to cut out one of these little tongue pieces, and I did, like I said, I did these all in white because I'm going to ink blend them. So you have this piece. Okay, let me get this guy out of the way here. Sorry about that, guys. You also are going to get, these are the stabilizer pieces, and you want to cut out 3 of these as well because they're going to go around your Magic Iris, and they're going to keep it where you can, open and close it. So we got 3 of these cut out. And then, so on one of your circles that you're going to cut out, you're also going to use this piece here. Everybody calls it the flux capacitor. It just looks weird to me. But you're going to line it up, and what it's going to do is it's going to cut out those notches so that you can put your little sausages in there. And it also etches these lines in, and you're going to need those for your stabilizers. And the last piece is you're going to be your little pull tab. Now I cut this out of that same Brutus Monroe paper so that it has, like, I don't know, I just didn't want it to be white. And then you also have this little piece that, the little arrow that pops out too. So you can use either or. I like to use this one because it's just, I don't know, it's something a little different. So those are all the pieces that you need. I'm going to go ahead and put these to the side. And I'm going to show you how I put it together. Now, like I said, I watched the video, I don't know how many times, to try to figure it out because I was getting so frustrated. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and ink blend my little sausages. Now, what I should have done was ink blended them before I cut them out, but it would have been difficult to get my clouds line back up. So what I do is I just kind of put them together like they would go on the card, and I try to make it as perfect as I can. You know, it is what it is. If it's not, it's okay. And I'm going to take my stencil, and the good thing about this is, like, I can press down as hard as I want to and they're not going to move. So I'm going to take one of my rabbit hole brushes, and if you guys haven't seen these yet, what are you waiting for? These are fantastic. I love these brushes. I have, you know, a couple that I use, and then I have some that are just, they're just so pretty. I just have them on display. So I'm going to take the Ink on 3. I'll tell you, oh, I'm not even going to try it. This is the Peacock Blue. And I'm going to barely take any, and I probably didn't even need to load my brush back up. I just like to tap it just a little bit, and I'm going to hold down as hard as I can, and I just want a soft layer of these clouds because I don't want it to overtake my scene. So I'm going to scoot down more, and I'm actually going to twist my stencil because I like the different shapes of clouds, and you're not going to see all of them. And I'm just going to take whatever's left on my brush, which these brushes, you know, like I said, if you have not seen these yet, what are you waiting for? These are one of my hands down favorite brushes. And I am not just saying that, like, it is the truth. Let me show you. So these are the ones that I use now. They're here. And this is going to look silly, but this was the only thing I could have to put them in. These are all my clean brushes. The brushes I have not used yet. So I'm not joking when I say these are my hands down favorite brushes. Okay, back to the card. Sorry. So I'm going to just grab just the tiniest bit more and go through. Oh, see, now it moved, which is fine. It's okay. They're clouds. I mean, clouds are not perfect at all. And I'm just going to grab just a little bit of color. And even when I open and close this, you're not really going to see some of these parts anyways. But I just wanted to add a little bit of the cloud background because that's what's going to be on the background of my scene. And see, this guy's going to give me some trouble, which is fine. You're not going to see this part anyways. So I'm just going to keep going down with my stencil. And I do like to rotate it because I like the different textures of the clouds. And as you can see, I've not picked up any more. Let's get this guy out of the way because I don't need him anymore. But I've not picked up any more ink. And I'm still blending my soft clouds. And, you know, if you guys have seen my videos before, you know I'm a cloud junkie. I love, 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 love adding clouds to everything. It's my favorite thing to do. So now that we have all these done, what we're going to do, excuse me, is we're going to take this piece where all the notches are cut out. Let me get these guys out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the little sausage, we're going to slide it in and then slide it up so that it lines up with that circle, you know, the inside circle. And that's what's nice about this die, is it really lines everything up very nicely. So we're just going to keep doing the same thing. We're slide in, slide up, and then get it to match up. And then the last one. So the trick with this, some people use purple tape, some people don't. I don't, because I found that it rips my paper a little bit. I just hold it. I just hold it and try to keep it lined up as much as I can. And this is where I'm going to take my glue dots now. So what I'm going to do is just place them on those X's. Let me zoom you guys in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so there we're on the X's. And I need to get my nails filed because they are ridiculously too long for me right now. I know they look probably short to everybody else, but they are too long for me. So we're going to move on to our next one. And like I said, the glue dots, are a must. I mean, you need to have the glue dots because, like I said, I've tried other things just to experiment, and your iris will not turn at all. So you want to place it as close to the X as you can. Sometimes I get it a little off. Sometimes like that, I put my finger into it. So, the tricky part now. You try to make sure everything is lined up the best that you can get it without putting your fingers into it like me. And you're going to take one of your just regular circles and you're going to place it, oh no, okay, we'll grab this other one. We're just going to place it right on top there. So see, they're lined up. You have a perfect, oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to be out of frame there. So now you have your, you know, it's still not stable, so you need to still be careful with it. You're gonna flip it over and you're gonna start putting your stabilizer pieces down. Now I just use regular, the Gina K adhesive. And what you're going to do, and this is the easiest way that I have found, is you're going to take your tape runner and run it down. And then you're going to place your stabilizer, and it has these little, where am I here? Notches right there that are going to line up perfectly with your notches on your circle. So you just place them down, and you're going to go around for each one and do the same thing. Actually, I might not even do a voiceover. I might just keep it just like this because it might just be a little longer video. And as you can see how it shifted a little bit? It's okay. You still have time to push it back together. So now what you're going to do, it doesn't matter which stabilizer you pick. You're going to take your little tongue piece, okay? And you are going to line it up. You want to make sure it's in that V, because if it's not going to turn and you're going to get super frustrated. So what I like to do is I will take some more of this tape, or oh my gosh, you guys can see what it is, the adhesive runner. And I am going to line it up, keeping within that V, and place it down. So then, and I did it backwards. So you want to do it to the right. But this is why I like the, you know, adhesive tape, or yeah, the removable adhesive, because, and this is going to happen. This is why I'm glad I did a video like this, because you guys can see, like, it's not easy. Put your left finger down. You want to do it to the left. So you're just going to line it up again. And now it should spin. See, there it goes. Okay. So then what you're going to want to do, you're going to take your next circle piece. And I still have washi tape on this from where I was holding down my die. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get this off and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I lay this piece down, this is where I'm going to ink blend. And as you can see on here, so I have the grass, and then I have my little cattails. And then I have some, you know, the clouded background. So what I'm going to do before I attach it to that one, I'm going to zoom you guys out. Oop, wrong way. Where we going? There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get rid of some of these pieces that I don't need anymore. I'm going to keep my adhesive runner out. And I'm going to go ahead and start ink blending the grass and the clouds, and then I'm going to add the cattails. So I add the cattails last because I used Vintage Photo for those, and I didn't want to do, I didn't want it to get all mixed up or get lost, you know, in the grass. So this one I will just kind of hold down as hard as I can, And I'm going to take Mowed Lawn, and of course, my rabbit hole brush, Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide. And I'm just going to grab a little bit. And like I said, I probably didn't even need to do that, but it's just a habit that I do. And I'm going to ink blend some grass. And I try to keep the top of it a little bit darker and then, you know, carefully fade down, just because it gives it a little different texture. So as you can see there's our grass. Simple, easy, nothing, you know, fancy about that. And then I'm going to take my cloud stencil one more time, and I'm going to go ahead and ink blend the clouds. So the great thing about this is that you can use this as a mask, and I probably did my grass the wrong way, but that's okay. It's fine. No big deal. Nobody's going to know it's the wrong way. I'm going to go ahead and grab my blue brush again, and I am going to go ahead and dip into that blue one more time, and I won't have to do it anymore after that. Like literally just one swipe. Well, two, showing you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and just tap some of that off because I don't want it to be super intense. So I'm just going to go ahead and start ink blending my clouds. And you can use any stencil that you want. This is just the cloud stencil that I had on hand. And I'm going to rotate it because, like I said, I like to have different shapes in my clouds. And then what I also like to do too is I will bring the ink up just a little bit so they, you know, kind of blend into each other, because you don't want stark white in between your clouds. I mean, it just, to me, it just kind of looks funny. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. And I'm literally using barely any pressure for these brushes. And the more I go down, the lighter I want it to be. So see how you can kind of see the gradient of the, where it's not so white. And if I feel like it is getting too white, then I'll go back through and just barely touch over that. And this is going to be my last cloud. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my cattails. So see, I mean, literally took me no time at all to do that. I mean, I know it's a little area, but you know, you don't want to fuss trying to get some of this stuff done. Now, what I did do that's a little bit different, and I tried this with my brush, but the stencil was just a little too small for it. I will go ahead and take my cattails and try to line them up as best as I can, because I don't mind that the one little piece is not on there. I mean, if it is, great. If not, then that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and take my little finger daubers, because it is such a small area and I don't want to, I'm a messy blender. I'm going to take Twisted Citron Distressed Ink, my little finger dauber, and I'm just going to hold it here. And it's okay if a little bit gets on the cattail part, because I'm going to go ahead and use Vintage Photo for that. So again, I'm just using the same little finger, not the same one, but I'm just using a finger dauber, and I'm going to go ahead and go through and add my little cattail. And I love these little cattails. They're so stinking cute. And there you go. So like I said, it's okay that I don't have that other little notch right there. It's no big deal. Okay, so for this one, the exact same thing. Hopefully this video isn't like super long. If it is, I will try to fast forward through a couple parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys, I just wanted to get some of this stuff done so the video wasn't uber long. So I went ahead and ink blended my background, and now I have my my circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up. It doesn't matter how you line it up really, but you want to make sure that your tab, when you open it, or I'm sorry, when you close it, that the tab is not sticking out. So I made the mistake with that one where it was sticking out. I already had my little frogs colored, and believe it or not, two colors. Two of the Caran Brush Pro markers. I used Grass for the green for this one, and then Neon Orange for his eyes. And then on this one, I used Apple, and then the same Neon Orange. I was trying to do like a little, tree frog. So I hope it came out okay. So what I'm going to do, so here's my circle piece. This is going to be his pond. I'm going to take my my ink blended image, and I'm going to lay it down. And what I'm going to do is lay that circle right inside. I'm going to lift the circle up, and I'm going to glue this down. Okay, so my phone overheated, which is kind of weird. I don't know if it's because I have new lighting or what's going on. But all I did was I laid this down, and then I placed the circle back over top of it. This is going to be our top circle. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to okay, so I made a little boo-boo, which I didn't edit out. I just paused the video for a second so I could die cut it so you guys wouldn't have to hear my machine. So you want to cut 4 of these out because I forgot the third piece that I used was to ink blend on. So we're going to move this out of the way. We're going to come in here and we're going to lay this guy down. No adhesive, nothing. You want to make sure that it's open all the way. And you're just going to lay this piece down. No adhesive, nothing. What you're going to do is you're going to grab your tape runner again. Just get the ends of it. So when you do this over, okay, when you bend your little stabilizer, you're not going to want to go all the way to the edge. I like to go just to that dotted line. And you're going to do that with all 3 of your pieces. And if I didn't have nails, this would be so much easier. And some of them might not go to the dotted line, and that's fine. I just need to make sure that I get them to where they're going to hold my see, there we go. Open, close. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my tape runner again and I'm going to place this guy on top. And I know it looks a little thick, but I didn't want you to see these stabilizers when I was ink blending. So I'm just going to take my Gina K tape runner, or adhesive runner, and I'm just going to add as much as I can. And I'm going to try to line this up. So I like to do this closed so I can see where my clouds are. And then also, before I stick this on, I want to make sure my closed position or my open position isn't all the way up here, you know what I mean? Because if you won't be able to get it into your card. So if you keep it to where your closed position is about right there, it will be much easier to open it up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it closed so you can see my clouds. Laid it over as best as I could, and I'm going to then take my ink blended circle, strap it right on there. So now you can see, so there's the clouds, and it's going to open up to this circle. What I had to do with this, I had to put foam squares on the back because it caught on this thicker paper. Now what I need to do is I'm going to line this back up as best as I can in the open position, because this is where I'm going to take my little froggy, and you're not going to see the whole frog. So I had to cut off his poor little legs, which, you know, kind of stinks, but it's okay. And this was the other reason why I had to use foam squares, because this little frog, his eyeballs kept catching. So this is about where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow along the circle, and I'm going to cut his little legs off as soon as I find my scissors, because I've lost everything today. I even lost my Gemini plates. Who does that? Apparently I do. So I'm just going to go along here, and he should line up about right there, because you don't want the eyeballs to catch. If it catches, it's not going to open and close properly. So that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is use liquid glue on this, because I found that if I did not, the eyeballs really caught, and I don't know why. It just was super, super frustrating. So I glued the snot out of this sucker, especially around his eyes. I'm not so much concerned about down here, and this is just the art glitter glue. I almost used my Tombow Mono glue, but it's so sticky. Right now our humidity is super high and nothing is drying the way it's supposed to. Everything's staying super sticky. So it is just not a good time for anybody. So I'm going to line him up there in the middle and press him down. Now I'm going to set a little block on him, because I do need him to be like super flat, like as flat as I can get him. And I'm going to have glue come out, and that's okay. I'm going to wipe that off when I'm done. So funny story about this frog. My daughter is petrified of frogs. When she was younger, she was walking outside after it rained and she stepped on one. Not hard, but just enough to squish it, or to, you know, feel it squish. Since then, she's been terrified of frogs, and she would not even look at my card because there was a frog on it. So yeah, it was, she cracks me up. So I'm just going to take my finger here and get rid of as much of this excess glue as I can. Like I said, it's not that big a deal, but I don't want it really on my mermaid paper. And that's Brutus Monroe mermaid paper. And let me tell you what, that stuff, oh, I had to like force myself to use it. It's so pretty. So now what I'm going to do, so I've got him all lined up. Now see, if I just kept him flat like this, what would happen was it would catch on his eyeballs. Now it's not going to do it because I'm showing you guys. But before, when I did it, it caught on his eyes, and it was so frustrating because, you know, you don't want things catching. You just want them to, you know, you just want them to run smoothly. So now what I'm going to do, and this is the tricky part, and I was so scared that it was not going to come out. I took the Have You Heard You Had a Bug stamp from this set, and this has got a bug set, and I laid it down and I tried to match it up. And let me tell you what, I was so worried that I was going to screw it up because, you know, I'm using an acrylic block. There's no like real second chances with the acrylic block. Like once you have it, like that's it. So I went ahead and took the Mowed Lawn, stamped her out, and hoped that it was not going to, hoped that it was, you know, going to come out. Because it's scary when you're using a block and you're so used to using your Misty. And I probably could have done this before, but here we go. Dun, dun, dun. And of course, because I didn't have it all the way closed, it, you know, missed some, but that's okay. So now, and I'm sorry guys, this video is a little bit longer, but I just want to show you the process of this because I was getting super frustrated and I could not get it to work for the life of me. And I was throwing it away and just, you know, not wanting to do it. So what I may do, since he's working just fine right now, is just take a little adhesive and put it on these stabilizers. Now you don't want to put any glue dots, any foam squares on anything else but these stabilizers because it won't work. I mean, you won't get your Magic Iris to open. It will just be a hot mess and you will get upset. So I'm not so worried about this right now. I'll fix it later. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and try to put adhesive on here. And I'm just putting them on the stabilizers. Because like I said, if you put them on anything else, your card's not moving. And that's the whole point of these, you know, interactive cards. Is that, so I have to open it up. And line it up with that circle. Now watch, the second I set this down, it's going to catch. Nope. Wow. Now see, mine's a little off, but that's okay because I can turn it just a little bit. And I don't mind that it hangs off down here because that's not going to be the open, you know, it's going to be closed when you put it in the envelope. Look at that. And I'm just going to adhere this to my card base. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to have a couple videos coming this weekend. I'm getting ready to have surgery next Friday, so I'm trying to get as many videos out as I can for you guys before surgery, because I don't know how I will be able to, I don't know how long I'll be able to stay awake after. And I'm just adding some liquid glue to this. Now, what I didn't do in this video that I did, now this is something you guys can add on to your cards. Not everybody likes to decorate the inside. I have been. So what I did was I stamped my little frog on the inside, and I used the mowed lawn, and I made a boo-boo. And then I just ink blended the little cattails. And I also decorated the envelope. I'm going to probably add some blue clouds to that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I will have, oh, before I go, so you want to add your little, oh my gosh, use your words, Tara, your arrow piece, so you can, so people know which way to pull it, you know, open, that it moves. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos this weekend. And yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.